Please subscribe and share this video with your friends. Marni Battista from the Dating Den, and I'm so far away from you. It's like we're in a long-distance relationship. And guess what?
Good segue. I like
Thank you. I am here with randylee.org.
Hello. I am long distance as well.
You are.
Not from you. From them.
From them. Yes, that's another host.
Yeah.
With the three-way thing. Never mind. So welcome. You know, I was in a long-distance relationship with Max.
Weren't we all at one point, I feel like?
Yeah, I even got like a specific I called it the LDR travel bag.
Okay.
Long-distance relationship travel bag, because he lived in SF.
Yeah.
He lived like, you know, it was a short flight.
Right.
But I didn't want a whole big suitcase.
Right.
And a little thing wasn't enough.
Yeah.
So I needed an LDR bag. Did you have one in your last relationship?
I didn't have, no, I didn't. That's a good call, because I would stay longer.
Okay, more than a weekend.
Yeah, it would be like, I mean, it was further.
Yeah.
So it would be like a week or two at a time.
Okay, you needed a big bag.
You need a big bag.
You needed a big bag. So we're gonna just kind of talk about, like, should you do a long distance relationship? What are the pros? What are the cons? And I believe, you know, I'm all about having expectations and setting boundaries. And we were talking, I think there are some like kind of guidelines, minimums that are important in a long distance relationship. And if you ask for those or expect them, it's not too much.
Yes.
So what are some of like what you would, I hate the word rules, but what are some guidelines that you think are minimums for relationship success long distance?
Some guidelines, I think there's nothing that can replace the face-to-face, and since we have the technology, I think you FaceTime or Skype at least 3 times a week. The texting and the calls just don't do justice. When you can actually see the person smile and you can get their nonverbals. You don't get any nonverbals from a text, and you can kind of tell if the person's into the conversation and whatnot. So I think a minimum of 3. You
know what else I think this is really great is because we all have ADD basically. So when you're texting your LD boyfriend or girlfriend, you're doing something else.
Oh yeah.
You're watching TV, you're at a party, you're with your friends. If you're on the phone, you're checking your Facebook.
Yeah, you're cleaning.
Right, exactly. So when you do FaceTime or Skype, it's eye contact and you're fully present.
You can't go anywhere. You're looking at me,
Yeah, exactly. And what about the whole idea of like you're FaceTiming and you're doing something together, like I don't know, watching a movie, like doing things together while you're apart?
I think that's good. I mean, I think though if you're on FaceTime, you're really just about that person.
You're just talking.
That's the time you allot to where you can just be with that person.
Right. Do you take them to the grocery store?
No, because I think it's annoying when people are on their phone FaceTime. There was a girl in the line at Chipotle the other day, and she's FaceTiming while she's ordering. I'm like, seriously, just order. Let me get my food or get out of the way. It's like, this person doesn't need to be on FaceTime with you while you order your breakfast burrito or whatever.
Was she ordering for the person she was FaceTiming?
No. She was just talking to me like, hold on. Let me get the chicken. I'm like, are you serious right now? Like, if I was that dude, I'd just be like, okay, just talk to me after you're done eating. It's not that serious.
That's so weird.
So, but yeah, I think when it's that FaceTime, you definitely want to have that one-on-one, because you don't get the FaceTime. You don't get the face every day. You get a... You have a relationship with your phone.
That is great. Now, for those of you who are online dating and you're meeting someone, I think this is also really important. Don't let it go too long to like, you know, we should Skype, we should FaceTime, we should have a visual. You don't want to be pen pals. So that would be like a long distance online relationship. You want to get it to the FaceTime ASAP.
Yeah.
That's just like a little bonus tip segue. Okay, so what about the whole idea of like moving to the same town? Like, when do you have that conversation?
I think early, because you definitely want to know what this person's all about. Are they willing to move? Are they, you know, do they love the job they're in? How close are they with their family?
Right.
You know, all these things come into consideration when you're thinking about being with this person. And that's really this is the person that you think you're falling in love with. That's why you're in this relationship. Because nobody wants to do long distance, obviously.
Right, obviously.
Probably the worst thing in the world.
It is. And what you said was really brilliant before. You said something like, when you first start in this long distance relationship, you think, I'd do anything.
Yeah.
Because it's new and you're like, it's hot.
Yeah.
And then you're like, well, I don't really know if I'm ready to move, or I don't know if I want to be away from my sisters.
Or if they're close to their family, or if they got a really good job that they enjoy a career. I don't want to try to start all over and go through interview process again and all this stuff. So you may think you want something in the beginning and you'll do anything, like I'll travel the world for you, and then all of a sudden it's like, maybe I don't.
Maybe
really
not.
Want it.
And sets in. What else you said I think that was really important is you don't just have the conversation about, do we want to live in the same city, like at the beginning. You need to be having it regularly so that you can see, if things are changing.
Yeah, it's kind of like, as you go along the way, and you that honeymoon stage, you said 0 to 3 months.
Yep.
That stage kind of wears down. Are you still feeling the same? And then have that conversation. You know what? I don't know if I want to move. Maybe we could go halfway, or start thinking of what if the person says they want to, and then they're kind of backtracking. Well, is there something you can do to save that? Can you compromise, or vice versa?
Right.
So just keep having that conversation, even though you don't want to just always have that too. You don't want to have it like every week you talk. Because then it just becomes about that. It becomes,
well, that's the other thing is, I think it's really important when you're having a long-distance relationship that your conversations have to be more than just about your relationship.
Exactly.
And how much you miss each other, and when you're going to see each other, and how sad, and then it's like, you got to have fun in between,
right? You got to have some something else to talk about.
Right, besides your relationship.
Besides, how is this going to work? That it can only go so far.
Yeah, that's really boring.
Yeah.
And sad and depressing.
Really
okay,
is.
what about some of the pitfalls of relationship? You said it was like the hardest thing you could ever do, and you had talked about arguments being really hard to have in a long-distance relationship.
Yeah,
why is that?
This is actually the first time I've ever been in one. I've been in one my whole life, and there's nothing that can replace when you argue with somebody, like coming home after the argument and kind of the affection you can get. Like there's an I'm sorry, but there's also like a touch.
Yeah, there's the looking or
there's a
smile,
feeling you get when, obviously, that's why we like to cuddle and do all that stuff.
Right.
Is like you can't do that. So there's only so many sorries you can say in a text where it's like it becomes meaningless. The sorry almost. It's like we just say it because it's easy.
Right, and you can't tell in a text like if it's sincere, if it's sarcastic, or you're just saying it because you want her to just stop.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, and I felt like sometimes that's what happens is you just, you say sorry and you try to move on, and maybe you really do feel it.
Right.
But, it just becomes mundane because you've said it before. There's no physical action.
So if you're going to have an argument over text, I highly recommend that you do not keep it on text, that you pick up the phone. That would be a great time to do the FaceTime.
Yes.
And that you really try not to interpret things, because a texting argument is probably the worst thing that you could do.
It literally is the worst thing.
And I have the rule of thumb, ladies. So any text message that is longer than a thumb is a conversation that you should have on the phone.
Yes.
Okay, what about jealousy?
Jealousy.
How do you handle jealousy? So, like, when you were in your long-distance relationship and, it's hard. You're, like, seeing them on Facebook or social media having their life. You're supposed to, but you get jealous. So what can you do to, like, kind of break out of being jealous?
Yeah, I think, like you said, with the social media, it's you're seeing what they're doing without you, and that's hard. You're seeing them, do things that maybe you want to do with them, like, go to baseball games or, even be out at a bar or at a family party or whatever. So you got to know and you got to understand that they have their own life. And you can't take offense to it, and try to be, even though you might not be as happy for them as when they're like, hey, I'm at this baseball game. And you're like, oh, cool. Yeah, it seems awesome for you, but I'm here at my house by myself, So you got to kind of realize this person has their own life. And you can't get upset, and she's gonna.
You can't take it personal.
Yeah, he or she's gonna still live, and you have to kind of just be like, they have their own life, and
create your own life. So I'd say put on your big girl panties and try and be, excited for them. And then I think a lot of it too is like when we have a relationship that's long distance, we stop our life.
We do, yeah.
Right? Like, I'm just going to stay home and watch TV, or I'll just get some work done, and you stop going out with your friends, or you stop socializing or going to games, and then you see them doing it, and then you're like, well, I'm just sitting here and they're having fun. So when you're having a long-distance relationship, both parties have to maintain their life.
Exactly, yeah, because, let's face it, you're not there.
Right.
You're not there. So you just have to let them do whatever they're going to do, and they should understand and respect the fact, too, and like, I feel like if you're posting a picture on Facebook and you're out at a bar and you're like, kissing guy on the cheek, like that seems
that would be a bad thing.
Inappropriate. Yeah. Right? It's like respect it, and that's all. It's about respect and communication. And communication.
Yeah, and don't interpret things. So we are wrapping it up, but we gotta give advice to the last sister that we have not given advice to. We did Christine and we did Rachel.
It's funny. None of these sisters neither, because they're all married in Wisconsin.
Well, that's fine. We're imagining that they were that you were the big brother, even though you're probably not the big brother.
I am the big brother.
You are? Okay,
yeah,
great.
See?
This is way back in the day.
Yeah.
And they were
in Wisconsin, though, everybody gets married from their high school.
I'm from Iowa. They do. They get married when they're like 22.
Right.
They're grandmothers right now.
Yeah,
like mid-40s.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's that last sister?
Christine.
We thought we did Christine and we did Rachel.
Jamie?
Jamie. Okay. This is Jamie back in the day, and she's like, Randy, do you think I should get in a long distance relationship?
No.
What's your no?
Don't do it. No,
Jamie, no.
Yeah, I honestly, I don't want to say like any of it's a mistake because you always learn from stuff.
Right.
It's literally the hardest thing to do. I don't think, unless it's like this girl you met and you're like, and even then it's like you can be perceived because it's something you want, like we talked about.
Right.
It can just feel like that. It's just really tough. So anything to avoid it is probably the best thing you can do. If you do end up in one, follow
these rules. One of my coaches actually, who works for me, Jeff, he met his wife when he was 21 in Chicago, and he went to Madison, and he literally drove back a million times, and now they're married and have babies and stuff like that. But he said it was the conversation. They were constantly having the conversation, and they had to build really good communication skills. You have to work harder.
Yeah, let me backtrack real quick. I will say you get to know the person a lot. You got to work harder because you're having only conversations.
Yes.
You're not having sex all the time.
Yes.
You're not having, so it's not like this physical connection. That's definitely an emotional thing. And with that, I think you can become connected for. My buddy actually just got married, and he was in a long distance relationship for 3 years, and they Skyped every night. Pretty much every night. Like, it was legit every night, and now they're really happy. And so I'm not saying it never works. I think it takes a certain person too. I'm very affectionate as far as like I need the touching, the phone, and all that stuff. Some people aren't like that, so maybe it could work for them.
Look at your love language. Okay, we have to go. randylee.org. You've been awesome.
Thank you.
This is an awesomeness fest.
Yes.
And you can find me at datingwithdignity.com. You can follow us on Twitter if you want to get in on the conversation and complain about your long distance relationship or tell us how awesome it is. It's #DatingDen.
Yeah.
You can follow me at Marni Battista, and you have a really fun Twitter handle.
Yeah, Randy Lee PGP, which actually stands for Pretty Girl Parking, a comedy that I wrote a while back, but I never changed the Twitter name.
But follow him.
But follow me, please. Yeah, that'd be great.
And on Instagram, do you have shirtless pictures?
No.
Okay, well then forget it. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I think that's kind of corny.
It is
Unless
totally.
you're at a beach, maybe.
No, I know.
Yeah, it's that goes along with the selfies.
Yeah.
So many selfies.
No, yeah, we have a ban on.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll talk to you later. Thank you, Randy, and see you later. See you, ladies. See you later, ladies. Bye-bye.
Bye.